Okay, so we're going to have a look at how to do some vector graphics. We're using a website called vector.com. Notice how it's spelled VECTR.com. So if you can go to that website, I think probably Google Chrome is best if you've got that, or maybe Safari if you're on a Mac. And once you get to the website, we're going to click on the button that says Use Online. Now we may just have to wait while that loads up. Here we go. So it looks quite simple, but we've got plenty of tools here to use. We're going to try and draw a penguin today, so I'm going to start with this ellipse tool. I'm going to draw a body shape for my penguin, so something like that. And you'll notice it's just picked a random colour, so what I'm going to do first of all is change that to black. So I'm going to click where it's blue here. I'm going to drag my mouse down to the bottom corner here to get black. That should be okay. I'm going to do the same for a head. So something like that. It's obviously just going to be a cartoony kind of style. That's about in the middle. If the colour doesn't come out right again, just click on here. You can see it's not quite the same shade of black, so I'm going to drag that right down here so that those two match. And then I'm going to use an ellipse again for the eyes. So I'm going to do a small one. I'll start with it over here. Something like that kind of size. I'm going to drag it over in place. I'm going to change the colour of that one to white. So this time I'm going to drag right up to the top left here. There's a white eye. So that I have two matching ones, I could copy and paste that. So I'm going to press Control-C on my keyboard. On a Mac, that's Command and C, and then Control and V to paste. So now I've got two matching eyes, something like that. Then I'm going to have a go at doing the wings. Oh, in fact, I suppose I could do some pupils in the eyes next. So I'll just do a small circle like that. A little bit harder to move these because you've got to get your mouse in the middle. So what I may have to do is just zoom in a little bit. Whoa, not quite that much. Okay, it's not letting me do that very well on this computer. Hopefully you'll have more luck than me. Maybe what I'll have to do is just resize it a bit bigger first. And then shrink it down like that. And again, you choose a colour here. I might just go for a kind of dark grey, something like that. And again, you might want to copy and paste that for the other eye. I'm finding it hard to move mine, so I'm just going to resize and then reposition that. You can also use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move things around, so if you want to move something a small amount, that's an option. Okay, a little bit wonky, but you can spend a bit more time on yours than me. To do the wings, I'm going to use an ellipse again. It's going to look something like this. I'm going to set it to that full black colour. And then I need to rotate it a little bit. So I'm going to click on the wing. And it probably depends on what browser you use here. If you're on Chrome like me, when your mouse is just outside the corner, you get a little rotation button here where we can rotate it. If you don't have that option, there's also a rotate down here, so you can choose how many degrees to rotate it. So you can see where I'm clicking down here. You can go up or down. So I'm rotating it, and I'm just going to position it on the body like that. Okay. Now again, to get a matching one, what I'm going to do is copy that. So I could, in fact, you can right-click and duplicate. So I've got the same thing here. Then I want to flip it horizontally, which is this button here, so that it's the opposite way around. And then position that again. Now, if you don't think that looks quite right, you can always resize. So you can make it wider or narrower. So something like that. Looks about right to me. Okay, I've got a quick slide here with an example of step-by-step how to do it. So you can see I've not done it quite in the same order, but you get the general idea. Now, a big white section for the tummy, if you like, here. So let's do the ellipse tool again. And it's going to be a little bit smaller than the original body. I'm going to drop that into place and choose the colour again. So if I drag this right up to the top left here, that'll give me a nice white colour. So you can see it's starting to take shape a little bit. And then we've got things like the feet and the beak to improve on. So once again, we're going to use the ellipse for the feet. Maybe that kind of shape. And some kind of orangey colour. So if I drag that slider to roughly the kind of colour I want, and then I can pick an exact point, and as you move around you can see the effect it has on your shape. That looks about right to me. I'm going to duplicate that again. And then lastly, the beak was kind of triangle. Now, you can see the shapes we have. We've got a rectangle, round a rectangle, ellipse, and then we've got a few other options. We've got pen tool there, pencil tool, text tool, upload image, or down here we've got more shapes. So on there is where I'm going to get my triangle. Drag that in. And I'm going to choose this option, flip vertical, so it points downwards. And I'd like to get the similar kind of orangey colour. If I want to get an exact one, there's a paint dropper or eyedropper tool here. So if I click on that and then go to where my orange colour is, that will pick the exact same colour, which is what I want. And then I can just resize to get that how I want. Okay, so I've gone fairly quickly there, but hopefully you've got the idea. One last little thing we could do is make a little baby version. So I'm going to highlight the whole thing by dragging a big rectangle around it. And then going to, I don't have a duplicate on there, but I think if I right click on the whole thing, I should be able to duplicate. Yeah, there we go. Move that across. And then I could have a go at shrinking that whole thing down to make a little cute baby version. Okay, so you get the idea. With vectors, we've got a lot of power to create images quite quickly and simply in a cartoon style. So that is your challenge to try and come up with something like that. I'm sure you can do it better than me because you won't be rushing quite so much. Okay, there we go.